Jack Starrett. God bless Jack Starrett. He was a very good director from Refugio, Texas, and he did a dead-on impression of Gabby Hayes, the old cowboy sidekick. Oh, Hayes, I wonder. And that was Jack. He was directing a picture, and he hired me to design it. It's called Cleopatra Jones. Tamara Dobson, the star, 6'2". I said to Jack one day, I said, have you ever seen the top of her head? And he said, no, I never could get up that high. But Jack and I became friends. I remember the day we became really close friends. We're shooting down on Adams Boulevard in the South LA, tough section. It's getting along about 5 o'clock, and Jack walks over to me and he says, next shot is an ECU of a Jack Daniels. Are you with me? I said, you bet. ECU, by the way, is extreme close-up. And what that meant was we were going to wrap for the day very soon, and he wanted to go out for a drink. And we bonded. He was a star in the making. Except for alcohol and drugs, he would be a big star now. He would be as revered as, say, Sam Peckinpah, because that's the kind of director he was. Tumultuous, you know. And we really got on well. One day I said to him, Jack, you got a big set to shoot tomorrow on the stage, and you have never seen it. I'll get a bottle of Jack Daniels. I'll get my set decorator to get some ice for us, and there's a bar in the set. Anyway, Jack and I get into our cups really well. He's loving the set. Everything's fine there. We're talking camera angles and camera moves and actor moves, and we're sitting at the bar and throwing them back as fast as we can. And phone rings on the stage. It was the head of production at Warner's, Ed Morey. He said, Mel Brooks wants to see you right now. He said, we've recommended you to do. At that time, it was called Black Bart. Blazing Saddles was retitled after we finished the picture. It was always Black Bart when we were shooting it. And he said, we've recommended you we want you to do the picture, and Mel's in his office right now, and if you could just run across the lot and see him, that'd be great. And I was just drunk enough not to say no. I should have said, well, no, I shouldn't have. I did exactly the right thing because I got the picture. But what I did was I said to Jack, geez, I got to go see Mel Brooks. And he says, and everybody knew about the picture. Everybody in town was fighting for parts in that picture. And Jack says, I want to play the part of Gabby Hayes. And I said, oh, sure, Jack, I'll just work that out for you. Don't worry about a thing. So I go drunk. I go over. I walk into Mel's office. I remember it was raining out. Leather jacket, I'm all wet. I walk in, I meet Mel and his producer, Mike Hirschberg, and Bill Owens, the production manager. They're all sitting in Mel's office. Mel says, have a seat. And the producer says, yeah, pull up a chair and sit down. And I just sat on the floor. Or pull up a floor and sit down, I'm sorry. I said, I just sat on the floor. And I mean, I thought, oh, Jesus, I know enough about comedy. Once you start something, you don't back away from it. Never apologize for comedy. So I'm sitting on the floor, and I've lost eye contact with Mel because his desk was so big, he couldn't see me. And he stood up, and he looked over, and he said, well, I'll be a son of a bitch. He says, have you ever done a Western? And I knew he hadn't. I said, have you? And he laughed, and he took the script that was sitting on his desk, and he slid it across the desk, and it floated through the air, and it landed on my lap. Now I'm still on the floor. He says, read this, give me one good visual idea. I said, okay. So I got up off the floor and staggered out of the place, went back to see Starrett. He'd stare at, I said, I got you the part, Jack, don't worry about a thing. So there's a scene in there where Lily von Shtupp invites Black Bart to her dressing room after the play, after the performance, and the lights all go out, and there's 2 or 3 lines played in blackness. So I did a black screen. It was anamorphic, it was CinemaScope, and I did this black screen with you could see a window over here, just white window, and the lines in this movie were, "Tell me, is it true what they say about you Schwarzes being so gifted?" And then you hear a zipper go down, and then she says, "It's true, it's true." That's in the movie. What was blissfully cut out of the movie was his last line, which is, "Excuse me, ma'am, you're sucking my arm." Thank God that got taken out of there. But I did this thing, and I wrote under, "Excuse me, ma'am, you're sucking my arm." And I took it into him the next day, thinking that I'd never work in this town again anyway. I mean, you just got this little kid drunk in there. And I handed it to him, this sketch. Nothing in the sketch except black and an outline of a window, and "Excuse me, ma'am, you're sucking my arm." And he laughed, and I left and went back to my office across the lot. And I'm told that after I walked out the door, Mel said, "How can I not hire this little son of a bitch?" And by the time I got to my office, the phone was ringing, and it was Mel. And he said, "Hey, kid, you're on the team. Your number's 24. Wear your lifts." He and I are the same size. Yeah. "Wear your lifts." I said, "I will if you will," and hung up on him. And that's how I got Blazing Saddles.